I am a 20-year-old female university student from Australia. This experience happened last year in the winter of 2017. I had moved several hours away from my hometown for uni, and I was looking to earn some money while I was studying. During high school, I had been a school tutor. I really enjoyed tutoring, and I thought this would be good to continue, so I went about finding students to tutor. It wasn't long before a mother contacted me, asking about getting tutoring for her son. I'm not exactly sure of his age, as she only told me his year level, and I can't remember if I ever asked how old he was, but he would have been around 9 or 10. We agreed to do the tutoring at their house, and we arranged a time to meet for that week. On the arranged day, I drove to their house for our first session. It was the usual first meeting. The mother was lovely, and her son was very cooperative, if a little quiet. When you're a tutor, all you want is a student who will try hard and listen to your instructions. And this student was perfectly well behaved. Their house was a small cottage-like house, but it was very neat. We worked at the kitchen table in the dining room, which formed an L shape with the living room. The entranceway was in the corner, formed by the two rooms. Off the dining room/entrance corner was the student's room. The door was shut, but I could tell by the decorative name place card on the door that it was his. If his door was open, he would have been able to see straight into the living room. The first few weeks of tutoring went along fine. I was really happy to work with the student and his mother. But a few weeks in, I started noticing that the student was not himself. He seemed really tired and wasn't as responsive to my instructions. Not in a disobedient way, just like he couldn't concentrate properly. I brushed it off at first because it was winter and cold, and towards the end of term 2, which is typically a long term in Australian schooling. This is when students started to get sick and run down, so it wasn't that unusual for my students to seem a little tired at this time of year. We had a 2-week break over the school holidays, and I hoped that after this he would be well rested and ready to start again. During our first session after the holidays, however, he seemed even more tired. I could barely get him to follow any instructions, and he was taking much longer to complete work than expected. I stopped the session momentarily and asked him if everything was okay. Was he feeling okay, or was he having any problems with the work at school? I didn't want to pry too much without his mother in the room, but I knew I wasn't getting anywhere, just ploughing ahead when he clearly wasn't keeping up. Up until this stage, this is the most boring story you'll have ever heard being told. That was until the student replied, "I can't sleep." Before I could say anything, he continued, "In the dark, a lady in a white dress crawls out of the clock. I can see her from my room, and I'm scared to sleep, because I know if I close my eyes, she will get me." He points to the grandfather clock in the living room, which is on the right angle, to be seen from the student's bedroom. Now, I'm thinking, okay, that's creepy. Crawls, not walks, crawls out from the clock. I ask him, as calmly as I can, have you been watching any scary movies? Or reading any scary stories lately? I'm thinking that this kid has seen or read something creepy, and then had a nightmare about it, or simply has an active imagination. He just shook his head. At the end of the session, I mentioned it to his mother, as I was concerned by how distressed he seems. Her response shocked me though. Yes, I've heard strange noises coming from the living room. We've only recently gotten that clock, and it's very old. Someone inherited it, and then when they died, their children sold it and I bought it. That's as much as I know. I monitor everything he watches. He does not watch or look up anything remotely scary like that. I don't know where this fear has come from, or what to do about it, but honestly, it scares me a little too. At this point, I don't know what to think. I put it to the back of my mind until the next time I see them. Nothing more is said about the woman, and the student seems to have finally gotten a little more sleep. So as far as I'm concerned, all is good. About 5 weeks later, I'm at their house again. The weather is absolutely disgusting. Gale force winds, and lots of heavy rain with lightning. It's a little early in the year for a storm here, but this was a pretty bad one. About 40 minutes into the session, the power goes out. The only light source is the flashes of lightning that can be seen through the living room window. The mother comes out to check on us, but at this point, there isn't much to do. We wait a couple of minutes, but the power doesn't come back. The mother suggests that we call it a night, and that she'll just pay me the full amount, seeing as we were almost finished anyways. As I'm packing up to leave, there is a giant flash of lightning, and I hear the mother gasp. I look up, and I swear I saw the hem of a white lace dress drag across the floor in front of the grandfather clock and into the shadows. I wasted no time getting out to my car. This isn't the only scary thing I've experienced, but it's probably the first paranormal thing I've ever witnessed. It really chilled me to the bone. I had never believed in ghosts before, but now I'm not so sure. Hello everyone, SinisterShaf here. This story was Time Crawls When You're Having Fun by How Does Your Garden Grow? Thank you for letting me narrate your story. If you enjoyed this video, then please remember to like and subscribe if you have not done so already. Also, if you can, share this video with your friends. You can now also follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Links are in the description box below. Thank you for watching, and, as always, stay sinister.